This segment, I thought we would have a segment on identifying fabrics and then the different ways in which we can colour fabrics and add some texture. And to help me with today's segment is Connie. Thank you for joining us, Connie. Now, sometimes I often find when I go to and buy fabrics or I get fabrics from friends, I'm not quite sure of the content, whether it's 100% cotton or whether it's a polyester. So what I thought we'd do is just maybe demonstrate a very easy technique of identifying what type of fabric you've got. And you can often do that by just burning your fabric and seeing how it burns. Have you ever tried it, Connie?
I have. A few times.
Yes, yeah.
It does work well. Definitely.
Right. Well, what I'm going to do, I've got some foil here, I've got some water just in case the flames take off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is with my lighter, just light the fabric. And I know that this has got polyester, so you can see how it quickly melts and burns away. So that's indicating the polyester content. So I'll just quickly get rid of it. And we'll look and see how this one burns. And this one I know is cotton, so we'll just burn this. So we can see it's burning in a total different way, and it's also going to leave a residual behind.
It's a lot slower too.
It is, isn't it? Yes. Now, if you'd like to light yours. So we can see that cotton burns completely differently. And if I was to put that out, I can see what's going to be left behind. So we've identified our fabric. And then once we've identified that, we can then choose what type of dye we might like to use. And especially a lot of the fibre reactive dyes are very suited just for your natural fabrics like your cottons and your wools.
That's right.
That's Now, looking at colours, it would be good to have a look at some colours, because as you know, we do have our three main primary colours, which are, put them up on the board. One of them is our yellow. There we go. And also we have red and blue. Now, these three colours are the basis of all the colours that we use, and it's by the different variation of these colours that we produce the next lot of colours, which are called secondary colours. So there's our three primaries. By adding these together, we can get a different type of blue. This was ash blue. That one, and orange, which is your red and yellow. And lastly, your blue and yellow, which gives you your green. And you'll find, often to go on to the next slide, I use a colour wheel. And I find I've got my three primaries, my yellow, my blue and my red, and I can see the different shades that are created as I move into each different area of the colours. And also these warm and hot colours are reds, and our red-based colours are warm colours, and our blues are the cool colours.
That's right.
Yes. So now, once we've chosen our colours and what we're going to, and the dyes that we're going to work with, as we've identified our fabrics, then we can start working out maybe what type of textures we might like to add to the fabric. Great. Right. Now, Connie, often once I've worked out what type of fabric I've got and the colours I like to work with, then I often plan the type of technique and how I'm going to colour my fabric. Today I've got some silk paint, iron set silk paint, and with this one here I've used some warm colours with a bit of black, and what I've done is I've painted my fabric, I've then laid it down and I've scrunched it up, and I've done like mountains and valleys, and when it's dried it's given this very nice linear texture effect to it. Yes. Yeah, and this one here, I've coloured my fabric, but I've just sprinkled salt on it, and it's actually drawn up a lot of the paint and left this lovely speckled effect.
That's nice.
And with this one here,
this
buttons.
Is great.
Yeah, so all I've done actually is just gone through my button collection, and I've just chosen out different buttons, nice large buttons. Place them down onto this fabric and let it dry out in the sun. And it's given me this delightful design. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Something different. So I thought we might have a go at doing one of the designs.
Yeah, sounds good.
So what I like to do is to help the paint spread on my fabric, I'll spray it with just normal tap water.
Yeah.
Here we go. You might like to spray yours. And I have just an ice cube tray with some of my colours in it, container with some water and a dropper. And what I'll do is just pick up some of the paint with my dropper and just squirt it onto the fabric. And just the water on the fabric, the moistened fabric, the colours start to spread, and you'll really start to see it work together when I start adding other colours as well, and see you start to get that blend of colours, and you start to get your secondary colours forming. So I'll just fill up this. I might go for a green as well. It's quite relaxing actually, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Like that. It's nice. Do you use I use this different.
Yeah, actually you do want to rinse out in between colours, yeah, so you don't move up your colours. And as I mentioned about the salt, I just tend to use some table salt, and I'll just sprinkle it over some of the areas that I've already applied the paint to, and that will draw up the paint and leave that beautiful speckled effect. Now if you find your fabric starting to dry out, if I could just have that water bottle, that's it. I'll just spray some more water onto it and keep colouring.
That's a key thing, isn't it?
It is, just to keep that moisture there so your paint spreads. How's yours going, Connie? Do you want to add some salt to some of them already? Yes? Yeah. So it's a good way to see the different colour combinations and how they form into other colours, into your secondary colours. There we go. And to the buttons, if I want to do some buttons, I just lay some buttons down. Whereabouts do you do all your dyeing, Connie, when you do your fibre reactive dyes?
Yes, I do them in my garage actually. I've got a lovely space with plenty of, places for water and stuff like that, and a good space, a big table too.
Because when you use the dyes and things, or whatever equipment you use, you've got to keep it separate from your household equipment.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Yes, I've got bits and pieces just for dyeing only.
And do you do anything in the microwave? Some people actually use the microwave for their dyeings.
No, I've never done that, to be honest. I have seen.
But again, if you do that with the microwave, you've got to keep that microwave separate. Absolutely.
That's right.
Right. So I've filled up most of my fabric. Now, if I was to do the Mountain Valleys one, which is this one, what I would do is just grab up my fabric like that. And you can see all the ridges that are being formed. And again, I would put that in the sun. Yes, yes.
I got you.
Yeah. And then once it's dried, you just iron it with an iron, and it sets it. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's a few different ways that you can actually work with a blank canvas and create some very interesting textiles.
Fantastic.
Thank you for joining me, Connie.
Thank you.
That's all right.